Everywhere you look today, fasting is marketed as a transaction. Skip a meal, and you buy back a little health, shed a few pounds, or maybe hack your way to a longer lifespan. It's treated as a simple exchange rate for the physical body. But twice a lunar month, millions of Vaishnavas completely abstain from grains and beans. They aren't tracking macros or aiming for physical longevity. They are performing a grueling physical discipline for a reward you cannot see. Ancient Sanskrit texts explicitly warn against treating this specific fast like a cosmic vending machine. If you skip a meal expecting wealth or material fortune in return, the texts argue you receive only a fleeting, ultimately empty payout. To understand the actual mechanism at play, we have to look at the Sanskrit word for fasting itself, apavas. Upa means near, and vas means to reside. The biological process of digestion demands massive amounts of the body's energy. By shutting down that physical process, you redirect all that internal bandwidth toward focusing entirely on the divine. Ultimately, Ekadashi isn't defined by the calories you refuse the body, but by the direct spiritual proximity it grants the soul. The origin of this practice begins with a hostile takeover of the heavens by a terrifying demon named Mura, who successfully and violently exiled the gods from their own domain. Lord Vishnu engaged Mura in brutal combat for 10,000 years. Unable to secure a victory, an exhausted Vishnu retreated to the physical plane, seeking refuge in a remote, freezing Himalayan cave to sleep. Tracking the deity's retreat, Mura slipped into the cavern, raising his weapon to assassinate the sleeping god in a moment of total vulnerability. At that exact moment, a blindingly radiant, fully armed goddess materialized directly out of Vishnu's physical form and instantly executed the demon. Upon waking and seeing the slain enemy, Vishnu named his protector Ekadashi, meaning the 11th. He granted her the absolute authority to bestow spiritual liberation on anyone who honors her specific day of the lunar cycle. Observing the fast on the 11th moon acts as a direct invocation, calling upon the protection of a literal cosmic warrior goddess. This goddess's power operates on a highly specific set of rules. Take the historical account of King Vaikatas, a ruler who was plagued by vivid night terrors of his ancestors crying out in agony from hell. Desperate, the king sought the counsel of a wise sage. The mystic instructed him to strictly observe the fast of Mokshada Ekadashi, with a crucial instruction: he must not claim the resulting salvation for himself. This introduces a framework known as transferable merit. It treats the cosmic energy generated by a strict fast as an asset, one that can be literally donated to another soul. When the king completed the fast and formally yielded his earned merit, the influx of spiritual energy was so massive that it instantly pulled his ancestors out of torment and directly into the heavens. In this system, individual deprivation generates a highly specific currency. Fasting yields a payout strong enough to purchase ancestral liberation. The sheer mechanical force of this practice is proven by what happens when you remove human intention entirely. Consider Prince Lumbak, a man exiled from his kingdom for a lifetime of severe, unrepentant cruelty. Wandering lost in a dense forest, Lumbak was starving, surviving by foraging a few wild fruits. That night, the temperature dropped so severely that the freezing prince was forced to stay awake shivering until dawn. Unbeknownst to him, the day was Safala Ekadashi. By failing to find grains to eat, and by suffering through a sleepless night vigil, he accidentally executed the exact physical requirements of the strict fast. He possessed absolutely zero religious intention, yet the texts state the mechanical precision of his actions was enough to trigger the system, completely erasing decades of accumulated karmic debt. It operates like an absolute cosmic law. The practice acts as a spiritual failsafe, so mechanically potent that even accidental adherence forces the universe to grant its grace. Which brings us back to the plate in front of the practitioner. Why exactly are everyday staples, rice, wheat, lentils, and seed oils, so strictly forbidden on these days? The ancient scriptures describe an entity called Pop-Porish, the literal personification of sin and karmic debt. On the 11th day of the lunar cycle, this cosmic debt takes physical refuge specifically inside grains and beans. According to the texts, consuming a bowl of rice on this day forces the practitioner to ingest concentrated spiritual poison. By completely avoiding this earthly trap and adhering to the fast, devotees intentionally quiet the overwhelming noise of the physical body. This silence opens a pristine, unobstructed channel of devotion directly to the divine. Ekadashi operates as a highly engineered spiritual technology, a system born from a sleeping god, capable of emptying hells and built specifically to sever our deepest material chains.